Welcome to a new video of Wealthy Road. In this video, we will talk about living off dividends. We will provide an overview of the topic and we will highlight the importance of dividends as a source of income, and the concept of living off of dividends as an investment strategy. But first of all, what are dividends? Dividends are payments made by companies to their shareholders, usually in the form of cash or additional stock. They are a way for companies to distribute a portion of their profits to their investors and are usually paid out on a regular basis, such as quarterly or annually. And what about living off dividends? Living off of dividends is a strategy where an individual relies on the income generated by their dividend-paying stocks to support their lifestyle. This approach to investing is attractive to those seeking a passive source of income, as well as those looking to minimize their reliance on traditional employment. The idea is to invest in stocks that have a history of paying steady and increasing dividends, which can provide a reliable source of income over time. But, how do dividends work? The amount of the dividend is determined by the company's board of directors. It is based on the company's financial performance and its future earnings prospects. To receive a dividend, an individual must be a shareholder of the company on the record date, which is the date that determines who is eligible to receive the dividend payment. There are two main types of dividends: cash dividends and stock dividends. Cash dividends are payments made in the form of cash to shareholders, while stock dividends are payments made in the form of additional shares of stock. Some companies may also offer a combination of both. The amount and frequency of dividend payouts can be affected by a variety of factors, including the company's financial performance, its future earnings prospects, and its dividend policy. Companies may also choose to increase or decrease their dividends based on changes in their financial situation, such as a drop in profits or an increase in expenses. Now that the basis of the dividends have been explained, we can focus on the practical aspects like building a dividend portfolio. When building a portfolio that is focused on generating income from dividends, it is important to diversify your investments across multiple companies and industries. This helps to reduce the impact of any potential downturns in a specific company or industry and can help to ensure a more stable and reliable source of income. When choosing stocks for a dividend portfolio, it is important to consider factors such as the company's financial stability, its dividend history, and its future earnings prospects. Stocks with a history of paying steady and increasing dividends are generally considered to be the most attractive for this type of investment strategy. There are various strategies that can be used to maximize the income generated from a dividend portfolio. This can include reinvesting dividends in additional shares of stock, choosing stocks with high dividend yields, and diversifying across different industries and types of companies. But, are there any advantages of living off of dividends? Of course, one of the main advantages of living off of dividends is the potential for a reliable source of income. Dividend-paying stocks can provide a steady stream of income, regardless of fluctuations in the stock market. This can provide a sense of financial security and peace of mind, especially for those in retirement or those seeking an alternative to traditional employment. In addition to providing a reliable source of income, living off of dividends also has the potential for long-term growth. By reinvesting dividends in additional shares of stock, an individual can potentially increase their overall investment portfolio, leading to increased income over time. Another advantage of living off of dividends is that they can potentially be taxed at a lower rate than other forms of investment income. This can help to minimize tax liabilities and potentially increase the overall income generated from a dividend portfolio. All these factors can make this investment strategy an attractive option for many individuals. But there are also some challenges that individuals may face when living off of dividends, including market volatility. Despite the potential for a stable source of income, fluctuations in the stock market can still impact the value of a dividend portfolio. This can lead to decreased income and potentially reduced overall portfolio value. Another challenge of living off of dividends is the dependence on dividend payouts. If a company reduces or eliminates its dividend, the income generated from that stock will also be reduced. This can potentially impact an individual's overall financial security, especially if they are relying on dividends as their main source of income. Another one is that an individual has limited control over the amount and frequency of dividend payouts, as these decisions are ultimately made by the company's board of directors. This can make it difficult to plan for and predict future income, which can be a challenge for those relying on dividends as a source of income. Despite these challenges, many individuals still find this investment strategy to be an attractive option for generating passive income. Finally, we are going to give you a step-by-step guide for calculating the required investment for living off of dividends. By following these steps, individuals can have a better understanding of the amount of investment needed to generate a desired level of passive income. The first step in calculating the required investment for living off of dividends is to estimate your monthly expenses. This includes all of your regular living expenses, such as housing, food, transportation, and insurance, as well as any other ongoing costs. Once you have estimated your monthly expenses, you can use this information to determine the amount of income you need to generate in order to live off of dividends. It's important to consider inflation and any expected changes in your expenses over time. Third, you have to calculate the required portfolio value. In order to calculate the required portfolio value, you can divide the required annual income by the expected dividend yield. This will give you an estimate of the total value of the portfolio you would need to generate the desired income. And fourth, it is important to consider your investment time horizon when calculating the required investment. If you have a longer investment time horizon, you may be able to invest in higher risk, higher reward stocks that offer higher dividends. On the other hand, if you have a shorter investment time horizon, you may need to prioritize safety and stability, and invest in stocks with lower dividends but a more stable track record. In conclusion, living off of dividends can be a viable option for generating passive income, but it is important to understand the benefits and challenges associated with this investment strategy. It is possible to live off of dividends, but careful planning and diversification are key to reducing risk and maximizing potential returns. If you like this video, please consider giving a thumbs up and subscribe to support this channel. Thank you for watching.